she enters Constantinople, stripped of freedom, family, and nearly forgotten. A nameless girl sold into a palace, destined to change the course of an empire. How did one taken from her home rise to whisper power to trace her ascent? We must journey back to a small Ruthenian village, unaware that destiny loomed. Born likely as Anastasia or Alexandra Lisowska, she emerges in Ruthenia, now part of western Ukraine. Then, under Polish rule, her father, an Orthodox priest, provides a humble existence framed by village life, faith, and the illusion of a settled. But fate intervenes violently. During a raid, Crimean Tatar forces sweep through, claiming her from the only world she knew. In an instant, her life unravels, leaving her a captive. She finds herself in Kaffa, a notorious slave market on the Crimean Peninsula. Traders appraise her worth. She is deemed more valuable. A ship carries her across the Black Sea to a city where continents and ambitions collide. Yet, upon arrival, she is not greeted as a guest, but as property, destined to serve in the household of the Sultan's granddaughter. It is here that her presence catches the eye of Hafsa Sultan, the very mother. In this shadowy realm, the girl is renamed Hürrem, meaning the cheerful one in Persian. Bright as her name sounds, it masks the heavy loss of home, identity, and agency. Barely 15 to 17 years old, she is thrust into the life of Suleiman, the newly crowned sultan. As Hürrem crosses into the opulent walls of Topkapi Palace, an empire unfolds beyond the curtain of violence. Topkapi is not merely a royal residence. It is a microcosm of power, silent yet potent, marked by ceremony and distance. Within it lies the harem, a world cloaked in beauty. The harem serves as a training ground and a political institution, a gilded cage where freedom is merely a mirage. Beyond lavish tiles, carpets, and fountains, it harbors the cold reality of political design. The Sultan typically does not wed foreign princesses, ensuring heirs stem only from the harem, creating a landscape of silent strife among mothers vying for their sons. Hürrem steps into this perilous arena where beauty can be a weapon, but survival demands more. In a palace where each son could claim the throne and each mother faced a quiet war, Hürrem discovers her unexpected power. Suleiman begins to summon her repeatedly, breaking the old rhythm that dictated as the Sultan's interest shifts continually toward Hürrem. The dynamics of the harem change. This moment transcends mere attraction. It ignites a political fire. Behind the palace walls, Mahidevran, a woman entrenched in Sulayman's past and mother to his eldest son, Mahidevran finds Hürrem, unleashing her fury. She strikes, leaving marks on Hürrem's face, attempting to tarnish her image before the Sultan. But Hürrem, quick-witted and resilient, navigates the halls of power. When Sulayman calls once more, she plays her hand, refusing to appear unworthy. She presents herself with the visible scars of Mahidevran's attack, a claim to his attention that alters their fates forever. Mahidevran is sent away, and Hürrem's power solidifies as she defies the traditional rule of one mother. With Sulayman, Hürrem bears 6 children: Maimed, Mihrama, Abdallah, Selim, Bayezid, and Sihingir. Though Abdallah dies young and Sihingir is frail, her growing family brings unease to the palace. Whispers swirl. Has she bewitched the Sultan? But the true mastery lies in her understanding what began as a quest for survival morphs into the recognition of power. After 13 years in Sulayman's life, he commits an unprecedented act. He frees her from slavery and marries her. The Sultan, one of the world's most formidable rulers, makes Hürrem his legal wife, igniting no longer merely an object. She becomes Hayski Sultan, the first imperial consort in Ottoman history. Wealth pours in, and her influence spreads, reaching the very chambers where government decisions unfold. With Hafsa Sultan gone, Hürrem claims authority within the harem, and her name resonates. Correspondence flows with King Sigismund of Poland. The boy taken from his land now writes as the wife of the Sultan. History does not return her childhood, but it grants her a voice. In Constantinople, she invests in the city's soul, funding mosques, schools, hospitals, but beneath the palace's grandeur, shadows linger. The specter of succession looms large. Hürrem's eldest son, Maimed, is cherished by Sulayman, sent to Manasa, a province reserved for heirs. To Hürrem, he embodies hope, a chance for her family's survival. Then tragedy strikes. Smallpox. Sulayman mourns, commanding the construction of the Shahzad Mosque in Maim's honor. Yet, even the Sultan's might cannot summon back his fallen child. With Maimed gone, the shadow of Mustafa, Mahidevran's son, deepens, adored by the army and the populace. To Hürrem, Mustafa represents a threat, a potential end for her remaining sons. If he ascends, Selim, Bayezid, and Sihingir face execution under the unforgiving logic of Ottoman succession. Thus, her greatest adversary emerges not simply in Mustafa, but within the ruthless system itself. Rustam Pasha, Hürrem's son-in-law and Grand Vizier, sows seeds of doubt, warning Suleiman of a supposed plot by Mustafa. When the young man rides to defend himself, he enters the Sultan's tent, unaware of the executioners waiting. Under Suleiman's order, Mustafa, the empire falls into mourning. The Janissaries weep, the people grieve. Rebellion brews around a man claiming to be Mustafa returned, a testament to the sorrow of his loss. Hürrem becomes the target of blame, her motives scrutinized. Yet the truth is complex, powerful, yes, but not the one in the shadows of the palace. A tale unfolds, weaving together threads of ambition, love, and the inexorable hand of fate. Hürrem is neither solely a victim nor a villain. She is an architect of her destiny. She was a woman who navigated a treacherous world, mastering the art of survival. In the aftermath of Mustafa's execution, sorrow enveloped the palace. Cihangir, Hürrem's youngest son, fragile from birth, succumbed to grief. His love for Mustafa weighed heavy on his heart, and he could not withstand the pain of loss. Hürrem, too, faced her final years in a haze of illness. Suleiman remained by her side, ordering the palace musicians to silence their instruments, ensuring no sound would disrupt. On April 15th, 1558, Hürrem Sultan breathed her last in Constantinople. The French ambassador, Jean de la Vigne, observed Suleiman's sorrow etched across his face. In his grief, he vowed to Hürrem that he would take no other woman. True to his word, he kept that promise. Her final resting place was established in the serene garden of the Suleymani Mosque, a testament to their enduring bond. Suleiman would eventually join her in death, side by side in eternal repose. Yet, despite her effort after Hürrem's passing, tensions flared within the empire. Bayezid, seeking power, turned against his brother Selim and their father. The confrontation ended in defeat, forcing Bayezid and his sons to flee eastward. In a tragic twist of fate, they met their end in Persia in 1561. In September 1566, Suleiman, the great Sultan, died during a campaign in Hungary. His body was returned to Constantinople, where he was interred beside Hürrem. The empire, however, had transformed under Selim's rule. Reliance on officials grew. The influence of women within the palace began to reshape the political landscape. For the next century, the mothers and chief consorts of Ottoman sultans wielded unprecedented influence over succession, diplomacy, and the very fabric of imperial power. This era became known as the Sultanate of Women. It all began with one woman, torn torn from her homeland and thrust into a system designed to bind her. She entered Constantinople as a slave, transformed into the legal wife of a sultan, and fought fiercely to protect her son. Hürrem evolved into a diplomat, a builder, a figure of both suspicion and love. Her journey culminated in a question of survival. Life does not always offer freedom. Often, choices are made under duress, amidst fear and love. Hürrem's life illustrates the duality of power. It can protect, yet also inflict harm. The true lesson lies not in swift judgments, but in understanding the world that shapes choices. Hürrem did not simply rise within the palace, she redefined it. The lingering question remains: was Hürrem's sultan a mere survivor, a power player, or an intricate